Shalom, everyone. Welcome back to Torah Truth for Today. I'm Scott Vanyo, and it is my belief that the Torah, or God's instruction manual, is for every believer today. And so we have been counting down the top 15 objections to Torah for today. Objection number 5 is that Jesus was the only one who could possibly keep the Torah, and he kept all of it and perfectly. And it might sound almost heretical, but the fact is that Yeshua didn't keep all of the law, nor could he. For one thing, he wasn't a woman, so none of the women's laws applied to him, and he wasn't a Levitical priest or a landowner that we know of, and so he didn't have leprosy. He wasn't married, he wasn't a father. There were a lot of commandments that wouldn't apply to him. He could only keep the parts of the law that applied to him. And it's the same with us. It's different than just picking and choosing which laws we want to keep. It's just that some of them don't apply to us. Interestingly enough, though, even though Yeshua was the only man who never committed even one sin, and remember, sin by definition is breaking God's law, there are several people in the Bible who are said to be just or righteous. Noah was one, Enoch, King David. In King David's case, he was considered a man after God's own heart. And there are several people in the pages of the New Testament. In Luke 2, Simeon is called righteous and devout. Others include John the Baptist and his parents, Joseph, Cornelius, Ananias. Paul himself said that he was blameless in keeping Torah. Although Paul also said that he was the chief of sinners, and so it wasn't that Paul kept them perfect, but it definitely was a pattern of his life. It certainly was a habit of his to keep them. It says in Romans 3:23 that all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. My point is that far from it being just too impossible, too lofty of a goal, there were people in the scriptures that made it a daily practice of keeping the law. And so should we. This is, after all, our reasonable service, as it says in Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. And do not conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. The perfect will of God is Torah. Which has always been perfect, the standard of perfection. The problem isn't with the Torah, the problem with man's heart. We need a heart transplant.